Thank you for coming today. Obviously, I know I'm speaking to the server LiveOps faithful because you've chosen to come here instead of hearing Tim Sweeney talk about the latest Unreal Engine updates. And so we know who we are. We're the LiveOps folks. My name is James Gortzman. I was the co-founder and CEO of PlayFab. We were acquired by Microsoft 1 year ago. And so we put this talk together really to kind of give an update on what's been going on, because we've been doing some very exciting things at PlayFab. If you haven't seen the news, we've announced something called Microsoft Game Stack. It's one of the first times Microsoft is really coming together by bringing all of our tools and services for game developers under one umbrella. And PlayFab is really kind of like the beating heart of that game stack, since we have all the services and almost act as the glue pulling it together. The team's grown a lot. We've pulled in a lot of pieces around Microsoft, technologies that are really useful for developers, but had previously been sort of locked up inside Microsoft, either inside our first-party studios or inside platform-specific features like, for example, our matchmaking from Xbox Live. We've been able to take a lot of these technologies and pull them into PlayFab now and make them available for every game on any platform. So we're going to go through a lot of really cool demos today. What I'm going to do first, though, is spend just a few minutes setting some context. Why PlayFab? Why LiveOps? What's going on here? So we believe in a world where the game industry is really going through a massive set of shifts. There are more than 2 billion gamers in the world today, and they're playing on this vast array of devices, including things that we couldn't have imagined just a few years ago. And as that's happened, we've really seen a shift in how games themselves are built. So I've been in gaming now for more than 20 years. And when I started, games were packaged goods. You bought them in stores. The job of marketing was to make a sale, and then you were done. You got to ship it and move on and start focusing on the sequel. PC, console, premium focus was very much the name of the game. Well, for the last maybe decade, I guess, we've been entering this new era, game as a service. And it's very in vogue now to talk about game as a service. We have these connected experiences now where we're distributing digitally. We are seeing marketing is now more about acquisition and paid acquisition and getting people into the game. We're focusing now, for the first time, because these games are connected, the creators have an opportunity to sort of push content down live to players. So we have this kind of one-way feed going down. And often mobile and social has been a really big focus of this shift. Well, we believe we're now entering a third phase, and we're calling this game as community. And the focus of game as community is now where we're starting to see game experiences that are so much bigger than the game itself. Whether you're on Twitch or whether you are chatting on Discord or whether you're posting videos on YouTube, there's now this much more a deeper involvement between players and creators. It's really a two-way street now. We, in many cases, see game developers distributing directly to their players. Marketing now is part of the fun. It's not just an ad you're watching, but marketing might be packs, or it might be watching a stream, or an influencer who's very passionate about your game. So the whole scope has really changed. And with that, the number of opportunities for players to engage in a game has really expanded. Right? Players are not just playing anymore. Players are competing. They're buying, they're streaming, they're watching, they're sharing. It's a much wider range of things. And like I said, it's often happening outside your game. So how do you keep up with all that? Well, the good thing about this kind of shift is that games now have become way more than just games. I mean, games are now true hobbies or almost lifestyles, right? Look at the top 10 games from the last year. 90% of the games in the top 10 in 2017 were still in the top 10 in 2018. I mean, that's either amazing or terrifying, depending on where you are as a developer. But it really talks to that these are not just games anymore. These are like TV channels. They really are lifestyle hobbies. And so the reason we see that stickiness is because of the level of engagement you can create now in these games. And we really call that LiveOps. LiveOps is the activity as developers we can do to really improve that player engagement over time. And so it's not just a set of technologies, it really is a mindset shift, a culture shift. It's a different way of building and designing your games. And so what we're going to do today is kind of drill in a little bit deeper into what that looks like, and then we're going to share some of the cool new things PlayFab is doing to help you deliver a better LiveOps strategy in your games. So let's just split it down the middle, live and ops. Right? Live is the connected part. Live is the part about having your game connected, being able to do updates. It's often multiplayer. It's the ability for players to be talking directly to a server. Ops is where the magic happens. Ops is the part of actually having to operate the game day in, day out once it launches. It's a continued investment. It's the mindset shift. It's an opportunity to really have that deeper engagement. And live is not enough. If you have a live game, you will absolutely have a longer life cycle than just a premium game or a console, a package game, but it's eventually still gonna kind of die off. When you add the ops to the live, that's when you get the real magic happening. That's when you see games that have been live in some cases for 4, 5, 6 years, and in some cases we have games on our platform that have been live for 4 or 5 years now that literally have more players today than they did, at launch. The growth just keeps going up. And it's never too late to start. You can add LiveOps to virtually any game. Obviously, you have more opportunities if you do it at launch, but we've seen games that have really reinvented themselves, in some cases a year after launch, and be able to turn things around and really start to see that explosive growth, which is exciting. So what is PlayFab doing to enable this LiveOps story? Well, we talk about all the different First, let's talk about our vision. Where are we going, right? And this is like a multi-year journey. We are not all the way here today, but I wanted to share with you where we think we're going, and then I'll talk to you about what we actually have today that you can start playing with. So if we believe in this world where players now have this much broader range of activities they're doing in games, a much broader range of sort of verbs that they're doing, it starts by delivering services that your gamers, or your players will use in the games to have those experiences. So it starts with services. As the players are playing games, as they're engaging, essentially we're able to observe what's going on and capture and view into all that player activity. And that data is critical, because having a sense of what your players are doing allows you to actually start to react to that. And so taking all that data, activity coming in, you can start to generate insights. You can start to think about what's really happening in your game, who are your players, what they're wanting, and then you can start to deliver actions back into your game, changing what's going on in many cases in real time. And the real time is actually the real trick to it. We already are seeing games now where as you're playing, you're deciding, hey, this guy's having trouble. Maybe this person's getting stuck on level 1 or 2, and actually changing difficulty curves, not in the next sequel, not in the patch 2 months from now, but while they're playing the game. By the time they get to level 2 or level 3, the difficulty curves are already being adjusted dynamically in real time. And that kind of feedback loop, the ability to really personalize and customize the experience, is a huge part of what's possible in this kind of player engagement-focused world of LiveOps. So what PlayFab's doing to make this possible, it starts for us with the player. The player really is at the center of everything. That is probably the biggest kind of cultural shift in LiveOps, is making sure you're putting the player first. And so we've got a bunch of technologies for helping manage player profiles, helping sort of store data about who the player is. But then we don't stop there. We obviously build a bunch of other services to go around that, and we've designed it so you can mix and match these technologies with your own infrastructure. Virtually no studio we work with is using PlayFab exclusively. They typically mix what we do with other technologies, either from third parties, or technology they've built in-house. So what else is in there? Well, we have content management, being able to sort of update and change the game experience, delivering new content over time. Commerce, the in-app purchasing, items, catalog, sales, offers, promotions, multiplayer and community features for communication and building that set of relationships between your players. Automation to help deliver the changes that we're just discussing, changing the game logic, changing gameplay based on the behavior. And finally, analytics, so you understand what's happening and can derive insights from that. So that's the sort of base picture of what we have. Today we're talking about 6 different new products and services we've been delivering. And we're going to go through these kind of one by one. We're going to start in the top left. We're going to start with PlayFab Insights. This is our analytics. For lack of a better term, this is our new service to really help you better understand what's going on inside your game. So a bunch of really cool things we're doing here. One of the things that's been exciting about PlayFab joining Microsoft is we now have access to this much broader range of technologies inside Microsoft. One of the most exciting things we announced just last week is that PlayFab's name is now Azure PlayFab. And part of that's because we can now tap into technologies from Azure. And one of them that we're using in this product is something called Azure Data Explorer. You may not have heard of it. It's relatively new. It may even still technically be in beta. Azure Data Explorer is an extremely high-performance data warehouse specifically designed for massive amounts of telemetry data. And it's blazing fast at taking millions of rows and be able to crunch them together to deliver insights like what my players are doing. And I'll give you a demo of that in a second. So we're taking the ability to do high-speed telemetry. They can go straight from your game, straight to basically the backing store. And then once it's in there, we have the ability to now integrate it with other analytics tools like Power BI or the tool of your choice. You can also bring in other data sources. You can actually import your own data from whatever data you happen to have. And we plan to build ourselves kind of one-click integrations in the future that let you bring additional data in very easily. You can then do your own logic offline, your own segmentation. And then we can pull that back into PlayFab so those intelligent actions can kick in. So it's kind of a key piece of that puzzle. One very exciting announcement I have today, this is like fresh off the presses, is we are announcing some of the first customers of this new technology, and Roblox is going to be one of the biggest new customers of this. So Roblox has agreed to work with us. They're going to be building analytics into the Roblox platform, giving the millions of creators they already have better analytics tools for understanding what's happening in their own games. If you haven't been paying attention, some of the games on Roblox themselves, if they were separate games, tracked on, say, App Annie, would already be some of the top games out there. They're huge. And yet, because they're in Roblox, they've often been not necessarily seen as maybe real games. Well, that's obviously changing. And we're giving those creators now some of the LiveOps tools to be just as successful and just as effective as other games. Microsoft Xbox Game Studios, a lot of our first-party groups, also using PlayFab Insights already. This technology is in private preview. You can go online. We're going to be demoing it in our booth. You can sign up, and we can get you access to it, but it's not yet in general availability. So OK, let's go ahead and do a demo. First demo of the day. So what I'm going to show you here is, OK, we'll just close that, and we'll jump into this demo. OK, 1 second. Hello. All right, we can show it on a different machine. So this machine over here, we have a game here called Unicorn Battle. And Unicorn Battle is a demo game we've built. You can actually download it and try it yourself. Unicorn Battle is a very simple game that just shows off kind of a lot of the LiveOps features of PlayFab. And what I'm going to do to kind of make it more fun is I'm going to open up the back end for PlayFab in the same time, in real time here. So this is basically kind of the dashboard for PlayFab. I would invite you to come down and get a demo at our booth and get a real tour through all the features we have. One of the things we can do that's part of the analytics stream is a real-time feed of data coming in from the games as you play them. So in this case, I've got Unicorn Battle open here. And when I go ahead and hit play, you're going to notice a bunch of things happening in the background, right? All these events coming in are events being generated by the game as I'm playing it. And so I can go ahead and hit continue. I can, for example, play a quest. Let's go ahead and kill a boss. Okay, having just killed the boss, all these events just came in. And you can see some of these events like, for example, these are all JSON objects. One of these events here is, for example, is levels complete. Right? So as I'm playing the game, I'm generating this telemetry data. What we're able to do now in our analytics feature is we're using this code of data to do things like trends, helping you understand what's happening in your game over time, sort of basic analytics features. We also have a detailed event history, so you can go in and actually see a detailed feed of all the data from your game over time. So you can very quickly go in and see sort of what's happening, what events are being generated, and go in and inspect that data historically. What we've added now with this Insights feature is a new ability to go directly into the Azure Data Explorer data warehouse where this data is being stored. And so I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my other computer to show you this feature. So here I am. I've clicked Insights Preview. It's opened up the Azure Data Explorer window. And let me mirror my display. Yeah. OK. So what you're seeing here is you see your browser window. And what I've done is I've clicked on the preview. And it's actually opened up this Azure Data Explorer window, where I'm now able to go in here and actually see kind of all the tables from my data warehouse. That by itself is not so interesting. I can, if I want to run a query, I'm actually going to look, for example, at all the logged in events. I'm going to look at distinct ones, count them up, and it's going to tell me that I've got 102 unique players in that game. So that's interesting. You can run SQL query. You can run queries in here. Most people, however, are not going to want to run direct database access. So where it gets interesting is going into a tool like Power BI. And so let me do this, move this over to the screen. Okay, hold on. Okay. So I know you can't read this necessarily. We'll be playing with graphs in a second. What I've done here is I've actually gone ahead and connected my Power BI tool here directly to Azure Data Explorer. And I've gone ahead and pulled in a table where I'm asking it to show me all of my players who played the game in a relatively short period of time. What I can do is I can now drag into that table additional data. So let's say I want to see, I'm looking to see if my game is too hard. So I want to look at level completes and see where people are getting stuck as they play the game. So I've got this event called client level complete. Sorry, actually, I've got an event called client level up. Every time the player levels up, it generates this level up event. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scroll down and take the new level. This new level field is the number showing what their new level they're reaching is. I'm going to take this, I'm going to add it to my table. Do that over here. New level. I'm add it to my field, and I'm going to change it to actually be the maximum new level. So it's going to show us all of the highest level, the highest new level players have gotten to. And I'm also going to go ahead and grab another event. I'm going to grab the level up, the level completes. Every time a player completes a level, we're generating this level complete event. I'm going to take that event and simply do a count of that event. And so now I've got a basic table showing me how many times players are leveling up and the highest level they've reached. And then I'm going to convert that whole thing to a scatter plot. And so what this is now showing me is very clearly at level 5, players are playing in some cases hundreds of levels and not getting past level 5. So something's going on with level 5. They're stalling out at level 5 for some reason. Some player got up to level 7, but there's obviously a problem here. And so that's a quick little diagnostic that I could then use to figure out, OK, now I've got some insight of where to go in and try to fix my game. So that's just a quick example of using Azure Data Explorer through Power BI to go ahead and get into the game. Let's go back and start my PowerPoint backup again. OK, let's go back to where I was. OK, cool. OK, so we showed that demo. We're next going to talk about user-generated content. So this is another service that we're bringing into PlayFab. What we've done is taken the technology built, so Minecraft added user-generated content about a year or 2 years ago, and it's been part of their marketplace. It's been very successful. Allowing your community to create their own content and upload it is a really key piece of helping build that true community, gaming community. What we've done is taken this user-generated content system, added it to PlayFab, and now any game can add it to their own system. And we've taken a lot of the pieces that makes it complicated. We've added in the ability to upload the content. We've added in some basic workflow and moderation features. And we've now put in the support for games to then download that content back again and add searchable UIs into the game, moderation workflows. So I've got a quick little demo of that. Let's switch over to this other computer. What we're showing over here is a game we built called, not that one. We're going to look at this demo. So it's Crimson Rumble. And what we've done here is this is also in private preview. So the technology is now available, but it's still early days. You can go in now, and we have APIs you can use in your game to allow you to basically upload the content, view it in the back end, and then download it again. And so I'm going to be showing, once again, I'm going to be mixing, matching from the back end and the front at the same time. So this in the, actually a different tab here, this tab. Yeah, so we now, in our economy tab, there's a new tab here, user-generated content, where you can see the content that the players are uploading. And so if I go ahead and go into UGC, this is a very simple demo. Do not look at the pretty pictures. This is not, don't remember, this is not the next Unreal Engine demo. This is the back-end demo. I'm going to go ahead and create a piece of UGC, picking an asset bundle to go with it. I'm zooming in and making a picture of my ship. I'm going to give it a title, GDC ship, description. We can add tags and other types if we wanted to. We're going to go ahead and create a draft. It's now being uploaded into the system. It's now in kind of a draft stage, and I'm happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. And so now if I go up to the back end and refresh my screen here, you can see GDC ship has now been added to the UGC system. It's now available. It's not in draft mode anymore. And behind the scenes, we've uploaded all the assets necessary to actually make this ship a reality. Very simple little demo, but it shows us the beginnings of what you can now start to do with the system for your own games. And obviously, Minecraft today is scaling up to millions. I don't know how many, at least hundreds of thousands of pieces of content. This is designed for everything from mods, skins, maps, ships, anything you want to do. We're very content agnostic. It's just blobs of data that you want to give us, and we'll help you with a moderation workflow around that. So that's our UGC demo. Next, we're going to talk about one of the most interesting stuff after my heart is our architecture stuff. We've made a ton of improvements in our kind of really core developer services layer, helping you access PlayFab. And so let's look at what we've got in there. A bunch of things. One of the most exciting is something we've been missing from PlayFab for a long time. It's PubSub. We now have a persistent socket connection from the server down to the client. So we have the ability now to make a change on the server and push in real time and update down to the client. That's a core infrastructure building block necessary to unlock that whole vision we have of that loop around. It's no longer needed for your client to be polling a server. We can now make a change, give you an item, give you a gift, complete a match and matchmaking, and tell the game in real time, hey, this thing happened. So I'm going to give you a demo of that in a second. We've also integrated with App Center. App Center is a product from Microsoft that does crash logging, among other things. And we've integrated there, so now if your game crashes, those crash logs can get pulled in and shown in PlayFab. And we can even take that in real time, or we will be able to take that in real time and actually know as crashes are happening through our PlayStream system and allow you to be able to react to that in real time if you choose to. We've integrated something called Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Who here has tried Visual Studio Code? It's like one of the best new code editors out there. And we built a plugin for it tying into PlayFab so you can access PlayFab features from Visual Studio Code. And finally, last but not least, we have this thing called Cloud Script, which has been up until now JavaScript that you can upload to PlayFab. We host it for you. It's a version of serverless computing. We're now moving part of that over to Azure Functions, which gives us C# support. So you can take code from, say, Unity, upload it straight to your backend and host it in PlayFab, and we get real-time debugging support, something we've been wanting for a long time. So that's, if you've tried using Cloud Script, that may bring tears to your eyes. It's really exciting. So I've got a couple different demos to show this off. Let's take a look. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back to my Unicorn Battle game. And let's go ahead and bring that up. Okay. So what's going on? So what is PubSub? We're going to start with PubSub. What is PubSub? PubSub now is our ability to send events in real time from PlayFab down to the client. And the way we're doing that, we'll start by looking at how that happens. We've actually added this new PubSub ability where you can basically, what we're doing is we're piggybacking on top of, remember as I played the game, all those events that were flying by on the screen? That's called PlayStream. We're piggybacking on top of our PlayStream system. And so what we're doing is saying, as those events are flying by, any event going through PlayStream, you have the ability to allow the client to subscribe to it, such that when that event goes through the system, if the clients are subscribing, it can be sent down to the client. That can be sent down to a single client, or it can be broadcast to every client currently connecting. And so in this case, and the whole thing, by the way, is sitting on top of SignalR. Azure SignalR is the underlying infrastructure powering the PubSub feature. And that can handle up to millions of concurrent clients at the same time. So in this case, in this game, I've set two policies. We've created a new event called Message to Player and Message to All Players, such that players can subscribe to these events. And in this game, behind the scenes, we've written code such that when the game starts up, it initialized PubSub, made a connection, and it said, I want to subscribe to those two events. I've then gone ahead and I've written some Cloud Script, and I'm going to show you the Cloud Script actually in here. So this is Visual Studio Code. This is our new plugin right here. Here's our game. I've actually gone into PlayFab Unicorn Battle. I've gotten our Cloud Script revision. That's what you're looking at right here. Here's our Cloud Script code. If you look down here, we've written a new function in Cloud Script called Send Message to Player. And what this message is doing is it's taking in some arguments, a title, a message, some other properties, like whether or not to pop up a store or do some other in-game actions. And when that function gets called, I'm actually, this is the key right here, I'm actually generating a new PlayStream event where the event is called message to player, and it's being basically injected into PlayStream by this function call. And then, of course, once it goes into PlayStream, the client is subscribing to it. It'll come down to the client and pop up a window in the client. So that's if all goes well. The final thing that we're doing as part of this demo is using our automation feature. I'm actually going to fire that function when players level up. So I've got this function here called, I've got a segment of players called high XP players. So segmentation is a key part of being able to treat your players differently. So I've got this segment called high XP players, defined as all players where my statistic called total XP is more than 3,000. Oops, total XP. So if my XP is more than 3,000, then I'm in this high XP player segment. And what am I going to do? Whenever you enter or exit a segment, we have the ability to do an action. In this case, the action we're doing is called run cloud script, and that new function I just showed you, send message to player. So I'm going to send a message to the player saying, congratulations, you've unlocked some new stuff. So that message will be sent when the player levels up. And the whole point here is you can do this from the back end for a game that's already live in the market without having to write a lot of, well, this is some code, but basically a LiveOps person can basically do this on the back end side without having to tinker with what's going on in the client. And so this could be a lot of different things. So in this case, I've got my function running. Let's go and look at my player on this game. So this is me right now, LiveOps left PC. That's a catchy name. No, that can't be, that's not my player. I am this one, GMGDC demo. So if I look at my statistics, total XP gained is 2,800, so I'm just shy of that 3,000 mark. And if you notice my segmentation, I'm not yet in that high XP segment. So let's go ahead and play the game. When I play the game and I fight a battle, actually let me bring up the PlayStream feed so you have the maximum excitement here. Okay. So now when I play this battle, if all goes well, we're going to level up. And boom, this message popped up. So this message just popped up was actually triggered from the server back to the client in real time. That's pretty exciting. And and then it noticed it popped up a store. So the store that just popped up, that was part of that triggering from that message. So the server, it all happened. You can scroll down here and see where that happened from. Right here, message to player. This is the actual JSON object injected into PlayStream, message to player. You know, here's the message I sent. That popped up in the client. So that's showing PubSub and that real-time connection in real time. There's so much more we can do with this. We're just scratching the surface, but that's super exciting. Okay, one other thing to show you before I exit this demo is this new diagnostics tab. So this is showing that App Center integration, where we have a mobile version of the game with a crash button. You push a button, it crashes. It's like super exciting. And every time you do that, it increments. You can see here in our diagnostics, we're tracking what version, what build, how many devices. I'm the only one doing it right now, so only one device, 3 crashes. And if I click on this, it'll actually take me into App Center. And I'm not logged on in this machine, but it would take me into App Center and let you go in even deeper and actually see the individual crashes and even get some crash dumps. Super exciting integration. Encourage you to check that out. That's also part of it's also in private preview. Okay, let's go back. And again, running refrain here, we're showing all this stuff in our booth at GDC. So be sure to come down when you're done here and check out and get a live demo yourself at the booth. Okay. Let's look at next feature. We have Facebook Instant Games. We've added support. So Facebook Instant Games is another platform that we think is sort of maybe untapped. There's a lot of players out there that are playing games on Facebook now. We've added support so you can now have a full PlayFab LiveOps experience in your Facebook Instant Game. And the main elements we've added the ability to authenticate using PlayFab. So you can, or rather, authenticate into PlayFab using your Facebook Instant Games identity. We have great support for HTML5 engines like Unity and Phaser. And we've also published some tutorials on how you can use PlayFab with Azure Functions to write bots that can talk to your players through Messenger. And so those are sort of all the pieces you need to have a great, engaging relationship with your players and provide LiveOps for your games. I could show that. It's a quick demo. I'm going to skip that for now. The demo basically is just seeing it log in to your client. Well, actually, no. We'll show it. We'll show it. We have time. Let's bring this up here. So let's go back into Facebook. Go into games, Wordly, this is actually the game I'm playing. And if I go into our backend and switch over to Wordly, play stream. Let's see. Oh, here it is. No. Refresh that. No, OK, demo gods are against us here. But that's fine. So you can imagine what's happening. Basically, it's a demo of a game, and you can see on the back end side, you can actually see the player entering the game. And so basically, the key action here is going to be player authentication. And when the player authenticates, you can actually authenticate them using their Facebook credentials. So it knows it's me, James, and this is actually tying into identity on Facebook itself. So that's Facebook Instant Games support. OK, next, multiplayer. So for this, we're going to talk about what we're doing to help you build and scale multiplayer games. So this is, again, to build a multiplayer game, it's extremely stressful. You're launching your game, you've built your game server, you're putting it up there, and on the first day you launch your game, you may get the most traffic you've ever seen for your game. So you've got to be able to scale up, in some cases, to tens of thousands of servers. Microsoft, when we launch a game like Forza, I think we had something like, we had literally hundreds of thousands of server cores all available on sort of day one to support a game like that. It's a high wire act in the best of times. And what we've done is basically built in support to PlayFab now to help you manage and track that uploads. So to show you that, we're going to jump in here to another demo. I'm going to go over to one of our multiplayer games on the system. And I'm going to show you what multiplayer looks like in real time. So this is basically using the feature. So in this case, they've got 2 builds uploaded. And this is actually the live production game with the live production build. In this case, you can see the number of servers they've got basically active and on standby. And so we can go into the build and show you what that looks like. So a build, when you upload a build, you're basically giving us a zip file. The zip file you're uploading is basically all the files necessary to run that server build. We support both Windows and Linux. In this case, it's a Windows build. When you upload a build, you actually are specifying, actually I can show what the build looks like. When you upload a build, you're actually specifying what virtual machine you want to use. And so we've got access to all kind of a selection of the most appropriate Azure virtual machines you can choose from. Obviously, different machines have different trade-offs of memory versus compute. You can optimize it based on the kind of game you're building. You can tell us how many sort of game instances you can run on a physical on one core. Obviously, again, the more intensive your server, the fewer you can run per machine. You can open up different ports for different networking, and then how to basically start up and run your server. And so once you've got all that configured, as this game has, you can see sort of all the different regions this game's running in. So so one of the things about Azure, again, they've got almost 50 data centers around the world. I think we've got something 14 or 15 different regions turned on right now in our multiplayer server function. And you can basically choose which servers you want running in which of the different regions. And then we give you some ability to go in and visualize what that looks like. So for example, I know that for this game, East US is one of the popular regions. We can actually see sort of over the last 24 hours what the load looks like as servers are spun up, as they're spun down again, as they're entering standby mode or active mode, and so forth. So we give you a lot of monitoring tools to help monitor and snapshot how you're performing with your different server load. So that's our multiplayer server hosting feature. Another feature we've added to go kind of hand in hand with server hosting is matchmaking. So Xbox Live has had fantastic matchmaking support now for a long time, but it's only ever been for Xbox. And so the problem with that, of course, is that we're all building games now on multiple platforms. And so we might have great matchmaking for Xbox, but if you're building on other platforms, you may want to go build your own matchmaker because you want to have one matchmaker across devices. What we've done now is taken literally the Xbox Live matchmaker, made some improvements to it, and we've put it in PlayFab now. And so we can take a look at one of our games like Unicorn Toss here, or Unicorn Dash, and go into our matchmaking functionality. And basically what matchmaking is it's a series of queues. A queue you can think of as basically a game mode. And it's basically one of the areas of the game you want to be able to matchmake players into. So a given queue can in turn have a whole bunch of different rules. And the rules determine how you're going to matchmake players together. Rules can be as simple as find 3 players and matchmake them. Or they can be complicated like you want to balance matchmaking between the player's level. You can matchmake between activity they've taken in the game. We give you a lot of flexibility what these rules look like. So in this case, the rule is very simple. We're basically matching players where the race ID is the same. What this basically means is this game, Unicorn Dash, has multiple races. You obviously need to match-make players who want to play the same race. It wouldn't work to match-make them across different maps, basically. So that's a simple rule. But we have the additional types. You can, equality, differences, intersections. We have team rules now, so we just added team matchmaking. So a team of players can matchmake with another team of players for like a 5v5 type game. We also have advanced settings where you can say seconds until optional. One of the challenges of matchmaking is you don't want your players to wait too long. You want to speed up the time to match as much as possible while still creating an optimal match. And so what you want to be able to do here is have the flexibility where if you've got a very rigid rule, but it's late at night, there's just not enough players in the system, your liquidity isn't sufficient, you want to, after a few seconds, maybe relax that rule and jump down to a looser setting so that you can hopefully find a faster match, even if it's maybe not as optimal, because you don't want your player ultimately to good. You don't want perfection to be the enemy of good here. So you've got a whole bunch of different rules you can create, and that's matchmaking. And this is available. I think we're in public preview now. So this is now openly available. Again, come to the booth, check it out. The team there would love to talk to you about what we've got for matchmaking. Okay, let's jump back. Next feature we're going to show off now is something called PlayFab Party. And so what we're doing here is adding voice and chat services, again, inspired in part by Xbox Party Chat. This is basic technology that allows your game to have real-time voice and chat services between players. And one of the coolest things we've done here, and we're going to demo this in a second, is we're actually using Azure Cognitive Services to do real-time closed captioning, real-time transcription. And this matters because if you're trying to build a game that you want to have the widest possible audience, you don't want to leave players out. And if a player is visually impaired or is deaf and maybe can't fully interact with the audio, then they're being left out. And so what we've enabled now is to do both speech to text, so you can get closed captioning, and text to speech. So we also have the ability to then have a computer voice read what's being typed for players who otherwise maybe can't read, for example, text chat. And in future iterations, because we now have the ability to capture this real-time captioning, in future versions, you'll be seeing us do language translation as well. So if I'm speaking in French and you don't understand French, we can get a decent approximation of what I'm saying in my language so I can actually play along. And again, the goal here is to create the widest possible community and bring those players together. And so for this demo, I've got a colleague in the back of the room who is going to be chatting with me. And so we're going to go ahead and bring that up. So for complicated audio reasons, I'm not actually going to be speaking myself. We're just matchmaking. So he's going to start up his laptop in the back and connect to me. And it takes about 10 seconds to find. We've given a 10-second window here to make sure we get all the PCs in. Once the matchmaking completes, it'll be just him and I. Okay, we're in the game, and we should be able to chat. So Tom, how are you doing today?
Hi, James. Great presentation.
Do we have audio in this machine? Do I have room audio, I mean? Let's see. Yep, I have audio. No. Yeah, I got okay. Let me grab. I have a headset. I can jump in my headset and actually participate. Let me grab that headset back because we have time. I'm going to go ahead and grab a microphone, and then you'll see the captioning happening on stage here. Great, thank you. Okay. All right, so let's go to, so right now I'm chatting online, and you can see me talking in real time. So I'm going ahead and I can actually hear him talking in my headset. You can't hear him talking in the headset, but he is. And so I'm standing on stage at GDC, talking in real time, and an audience is watching what I'm saying. There's a little bit of a delay, which is kind of freaky. And you can see me talking. So that's real-time captioning. So that's very cool when it works. Again, this is actually in private preview. Go to the booth, check it out, put it in your own games. It's a very cool feature. Okay. So that's PlayFab Party. And so with that, we've actually gone through all the big demos we want to show today. So I'm going to kind of start to kind of wrap it up. This is how we think about PlayFab, right? This is how we think about what we're delivering. We're delivering something that's very efficient. We're trying to make it faster for you to get to market, because ultimately time is everything. And so a lot of it has to do with lowering the bar, making it easy, speeding up the time of integration. We want to ultimately give you everything you need for LiveOps. We don't believe you're only going to use PlayFab, but we want to give you that full suite that all is already integrated and talks together. We want to make sure it's reliable, because ultimately, if the backend go down, your game's offline if you're depending on LiveOps. And so we want to make sure that we're as reliable and secure as possible, supporting things like GDPR, CVAA, and other areas, policies you need to be compliant with. And finally, real time. Real time is a real focus for us, right? LiveOps is most magical when you can do things like make those changes in real time, push things to game in real time, have closed captioning happening in real time. And so the faster we can get data in and get it into your hands and let you act on it, the better. And so we're actually, PlayStream rules are firing right now, as you saw in these demos. It's all happening in real time. We're agnostic. We're part of Microsoft, but that does not mean we're only supporting Xbox and PlayStation. I'm sorry, Xbox and PC. We're supporting Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, iOS, Android, HTML5. If you come to our booth, you're going to see in one of our areas, the PlayFab Party that I just demoed, I was demoing here on a PC, but we have it running on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, iOS, Android, PC. And it was interesting getting a Switch and a PlayStation into a Microsoft booth at GDC. That's not really been done before. And it's pretty exciting to see that we're opening up now. And we also are announcing today not just that we're supporting all these things, but also Xbox Live just announced that Xbox Live now has a version available for mobile. And so you can now use Xbox Live on iOS and Android. As PlayFab is providing more and more backend services now, Xbox Live is switching a little bit to be more of a community, more of an identity, provide more of a social presence for your players, and do that across games and across platforms. And so you're going to see things with the name Xbox in it starting to appear in things that are not Xboxes. And that's going to be a really interesting shift as we open up our brand and open up what it means to be gaming. Because we're in a really neat time in gaming right now where devices are and player expectations are so different than they were just a few years ago. So this is a full list of all the services we have. Again, if you come to the booth, we have a handout we can give you which has this full list in it. I encourage you to think about, if you had amazing LiveOps services available with a few lines of code, what would you do with those? How would you change your game? And encourage you to come check it out and dream with us about what we can do. We've got some experts in our booth called Techsperts, very clever name, and you can come and schedule a meeting with a Techspert and actually sit down and ask very detailed questions, as well as I think we've got 12 different booth demos for PlayFab alone. So all the things I showed plus a lot more on display. I do encourage you to check that out. This is the full Microsoft game stack. These are all the technologies that we both integrate with and are showing off in the booth. So PlayFab in the middle there. But we also have App Center, we have Azure, we have Power BI, Visual Studio, Xbox Live. And those are the ones that we're kind of showing off today. There's a whole bunch more that fit into that network. So my call to action for you, again, go to the booth, check it out, all the demo stations. We actually have every 20 minutes another talk going on. So we've got 30 or more talks just around the clock on a bunch of really cool topics. Every demo I had today, we have opportunity to go way deeper into those. Our blog, playfab.com, check out the blog. A lot of what we talked about, the private previews, are listed there as sort of mini tutorials in our blog, so that's the best way to keep track of all the cool things we're releasing. The Visual Studio Code that I showed you, I don't think we have a blog up there yet. We will probably in the next day or two. In the meantime, if you really want to get your hands on it, that is the link so you can download the plugin for Visual Studio Code right now and try it yourself. PlayFab is free to get started. It's actually free for a lot of services. I encourage you to go and create an account and start playing with it. And finally, today's content, talking about LiveOps, we're starting a LiveOps Academy. We're starting an entire sort of track just about training developers about how to do more effective LiveOps. We've hired a really amazing woman, Kristen Cox, who used to do LiveOps for Nexon and for ArenaNet. She's heading up this effort for us. Really cool what's coming out of that pipeline. So please keep your eyes open for LiveOps Academy. And the book that we're handing out today, that book is part of, you can think of that as the first teaser of what's coming in our LiveOps Academy. So with that, we have 50 minutes left. I would love to take questions at the microphone. And if I don't talk to you, please, thank you very much for coming today.